The world watched in astonishment as President Trump enacted a complete reversal of US policy towards Ukraine. This dramatic shift was not just a minor adjustment, but a complete overhaul of the stance the United States had maintained for years. Initially, the US had been a staunch supporter of Ukraine, providing military aid and intelligence sharing to help the country defend itself against Russian aggression. However, Trump's new policy seemed to align more closely with Russia's interests, raising eyebrows and concerns globally. His stance shifted from one of support to one aligning with Russia's interests. This sudden change was not only unexpected, but also alarming to many who had relied on the US's consistent foreign policy. This 180-degree turn was as unexpected as it was alarming. Political analysts and commentators were quick to point out the potential dangers of such a move, emphasizing the risks it posed to both Ukraine and the broader international community. It signaled a dangerous shift in American foreign policy, one dictated by personal whims rather than strategic national interests. The implications of this were far-reaching, affecting not just Ukraine, but also America's standing on the global stage. This policy reversal came to a head with the suspension of intelligence sharing and military aid to Ukraine. These actions left Ukraine in a vulnerable position, struggling to fend off Russian advances without the crucial support it had come to depend on. This decision, made just weeks before a crucial international summit, left Ukraine vulnerable and cast doubt on America's commitment to its allies. The timing of this policy change could not have been worse, as it undermined the confidence of other nations in the reliability of US support. The upcoming talks in Saudi Arabia, while intended to negotiate a ceasefire, were overshadowed by Trump's unpredictable nature. World leaders were left wondering what to expect next, making it difficult to reach any meaningful agreements. Many, myself included, feared that Ukraine would be pressured into accepting unfavorable terms for a ceasefire. The lack of US support meant that Ukraine had less leverage in negotiations, potentially leading to a settlement that favored Russian interests. Trump's expectation of very big things from these talks did little to assuage these concerns. His optimistic rhetoric seemed disconnected from the harsh realities on the ground, further complicating the already tense situation. Instead, they raised serious questions about his understanding of the complex geopolitical realities at play. Critics argued that his approach was overly simplistic and failed to account for the nuanced dynamics of international relations. The fate of Ukraine, it seemed, hung precariously in the balance. The uncertainty created by Trump's policy reversal left many Ukrainians feeling abandoned and unsure of their future. The sudden shift in policy towards Ukraine was not an isolated incident. It was part of a broader pattern of erratic and unpredictable foreign policy decisions that characterized Trump's presidency. It was a symptom of a larger, more troubling pattern in Trump's approach to foreign policy, one that prioritized personal gain over strategic alliances and global stability. This approach often left allies feeling uncertain and adversaries emboldened. This transactional approach, I argue, has been deeply damaging to American interests and has left the world a more dangerous and uncertain place. The long-term consequences of such policies are still unfolding, but the immediate impact has been a significant erosion of trust in American leadership. President Trump's approach to foreign policy has been widely criticized as transactional. This means he often treats international relations as if they were business deals, focusing on immediate benefits rather than long-term strategies. He seems to view international relations through the lens of deal-making, where every interaction is a negotiation aimed at securing the best possible terms for the United States, often at the expense of broader, more enduring goals. Prioritizing immediate, tangible gains over long-term strategic objectives can be short-sighted. While this approach might yield quick wins, it often overlooks the complexities and subtleties of international diplomacy. This approach, I argue, is fundamentally flawed and detrimental to American interests. It risks alienating allies and emboldening adversaries, creating a volatile global environment. Diplomacy is not about striking deals. It's about building and maintaining relationships that can withstand the test of time. It's about understanding nuances, respecting cultural differences, and working collaboratively to address shared challenges. These are the foundations of effective diplomacy. Working collaboratively to address shared challenges is essential in a world where issues like climate change, terrorism, and pandemics do not respect borders. Trump's transactional approach undermines these principles, eroding trust and creating an environment of uncertainty and instability. This can lead to a breakdown in international cooperation. Eroding trust among nations makes it difficult to form coalitions and address global issues effectively. It creates an environment where nations are more likely to act unilaterally, leading to greater instability. By treating allies like adversaries in a business negotiation, Trump has alienated key partners on the world stage. This has significant implications for global security and economic stability. Trump has alienated key partners on the world stage. Germany, for instance, a vital ally in Europe, has openly questioned the reliability of intelligence sharing with the United States. Germany, a vital ally in Europe, has openly questioned the reliability of intelligence sharing with the United States. This is a significant departure from the trust that has historically underpinned transatlantic relations. The lack of trust has far-reaching consequences, weakening alliances that have been crucial to maintaining global order for decades. When allies cannot rely on each other, the entire framework of international relations is at risk. This lack of trust has far-reaching consequences, weakening alliances that have been crucial to maintaining global order for decades. It also emboldens adversaries who see an opportunity to exploit these divisions. Weakening alliances that have been crucial to maintaining global order for decades is not just a theoretical concern. It has practical implications for everything from military cooperation to economic stability. The transactional approach also ignores the importance of soft power. Soft power is the ability to influence others through cultural appeal, values and diplomacy, rather than coercion or payment. The United States has traditionally wielded significant influence not just through military might, but also through its values, its commitment to democracy and its cultural influence. But also through its values, its commitment to democracy and its willingness to act as a global leader. These elements of soft power have been crucial in building alliances and fostering international cooperation, and its willingness to act as a global leader. Trump's focus on short-term gains and his disregard for human rights have diminished America's standing in the world. Trump's focus on short-term gains and his disregard for human rights have diminished America's standing in the world, making it harder to rally international support and advance its interests. And his disregard for human rights have diminished America's standing in the world, making it harder to rally international support and advance its interests. This has long-term implications for global stability and American influence, have diminished America's standing in the world, making it harder to rally international support and advance its interests. In a world where cooperation is key, this is a significant setback, making it harder to rally international support and advance its interests. The perils of transactionalism are clear. It undermines trust, weakens alliances, and diminishes the United States' ability to lead on the global stage. President Trump's misunderstanding of NATO is deeply concerning. He views NATO as a one-sided arrangement where the US defends Europe without receiving anything in return. This is a simplistic and inaccurate view of a complex alliance that has been fundamental to maintaining peace and stability for over 70 years. NATO is not simply a protection racket. It is a collective defense alliance based on the principle of shared responsibility. All member states, including the US, benefit from the collective security and stability that NATO provides. Trump's failure to grasp this fundamental concept has led him to make dangerous and irresponsible statements, such as threatening to withdraw the US from the alliance. These pronouncements have sown discord among NATO members and emboldened adversaries like Russia, who seek to exploit any cracks in the alliance. Furthermore, Trump's focus on financial contributions to NATO misses the bigger picture. While burden sharing is important, it is not the sole measure of an ally's commitment. Factors such as intelligence sharing, military cooperation, and diplomatic engagement are equally crucial, and in these areas European allies have consistently stepped up. President Trump's rhetoric on the world stage has been nothing short of damaging. His approach to international diplomacy has been marked by a series of controversial statements and actions that have left many questioning America's role in the world. His impulsive statements, often delivered via Twitter, have alienated allies, emboldened adversaries, and undermined America's credibility. The immediacy and reach of social media have amplified his words, making their impact even more profound and far-reaching. From labeling Germany a welfare queen to threatening to annex Canada, Trump's words have eroded trust and sown discord among America's closest partners. These statements have not only strained diplomatic relations, but have also created a sense of unpredictability and instability. His pronouncements are not just empty threats, they have real-world consequences. The international community watches closely, and the repercussions of his words are felt in policy decisions and diplomatic engagements. For instance, his comments about Canada have had a tangible impact on Canadian elections, fueling anti-American sentiment and complicating bilateral relations. This has led to a more cautious approach from Canadian leaders when dealing with the United States. This reckless rhetoric has also provided ammunition to America's adversaries. Leaders like Putin, Xi Jinping, and Khamenei have used Trump's divisive language to bolster their own narratives and justify their actions on the global stage. Russia, China, and Iran have all seized upon Trump's divisive language to advance their own agendas and undermine American leadership. They have portrayed the United States as a declining power, unable to maintain its alliances or uphold international norms. They point to his words as evidence of American decline and unreliability, seeking to drive a wedge between the US and its allies. This narrative has gained traction, making it more challenging for the US to rally support for its initiatives. The damage inflicted by Trump's rhetoric extends beyond specific incidents or relationships. It has created a broader sense of uncertainty and mistrust that affects all aspects of international relations. His words have chipped away at the norms and values that have underpinned the international order for decades. The principles of cooperation, mutual respect, and collective security have been undermined by his approach. By embracing isolationism, protectionism, and transactional diplomacy, he has called into question America's commitment to global leadership and its willingness to defend the rules-based international system. This shift has left allies and adversaries alike wondering about the future direction of American foreign policy.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.